Hello and welcome to another video tutorial here on understanding body language, liars, cheats and happy feet. Hope everyone's okay and having a good Friday. So the video I got for you today is another criminology case, and this one comes from Orlando, Florida. And I've got for you today missing 5-year-old Haleigh Cummings, who disappeared from her family home in February 2009. The case has not been solved as yet, but what I've got for you today is the last moments of when this lady here, Misty Croslin, saw Haleigh. She's done a few interviews and there's quite a few inconsistencies in the story. So what I'm going to do for you today is to break down some of the stories and show you some of the inconsistencies in this. Now, bearing in mind this case has not been solved, so all I'm going to do today is just break down the verbal statements in her story and we can see if they're potentially deceptive. So we're going to start the video. There's a few videos to go through here. So don't forget this is an ongoing police investigation. So let's start the video and let's just have a look at what she says in the first part. So here we go. So this is a lady in question, Misty. So what we can do is turn it up for you so you can hear it. And let's listen.
It's been kind of like, I don't understand how this could be the situation where you don't hear her. Did you hear anything?
I didn't hear anything at all. Nothing. If I heard something, I would have got up and went to let them take her.
So what happened?
Okay. I put her to bed about, 8 o'clock, because that's her bedtime. She has school. I put her to bed, and her blanket and my blanket was in the van that they took. So we had a blanket hanging on the window, and I had to wash that in her blanket. Her blanket was, she had peed on her blanket the night before, I guess, and I was going to put it on her, but it smelled like pee, so I washed the blanket, and I gave her a little sheet to cover up with, and she fell asleep, and I went come in there and put her blanket on her, and then I lay down, and it was about, I'm not positive what time, it was like 3, I seen 3 o'clock in the morning. I got up because I had to use the bathroom, but I didn't make it to the bathroom. I seen the kitchen light on, and I walked in the kitchen, and the back door is wide open. I didn't notice about Haleigh then until I seen the back door open, and then I go in, and she's gone. And that's all I know. Is when I woke up, when I went to sleep.
Okay, so let's stop it there. Okay, so let's just review everything from that statement. So don't forget we can't use interpretation. We have to use her exact words. So let's have a look at the start.
About, 8 o'clock.
Okay, so she put Haleigh to bed at 8 o'clock. Okay, that's fine.
So that's her bedtime. She has school. I put her to bed, and her blanket and my blanket was in the van that they took.
Okay, this information is non-essential. Okay, so it doesn't help us with the story about the blanket.
Hanging on the window, and I had to wash that in her blanket. Her blanket was, she had peed on her blanket the night before, I guess, and I was going to put it on her, but it smelled like pee, so I washed the blanket, and I gave her a little sheet to cover up with, and she fell asleep, and I went come in there and put her blanket on her, and then I lay down, and it was about, I'm not positive what time, it was like 3, I seen 3.
Okay, right, so what she said here is she laid down. Let's just watch that again. So
come in there and put her blanket on her,
so she
and
put
then I lay down.
Okay, so she laid down. She's not giving any references to any times here.
It was about, I'm not positive what time, it's like 3, I seen 3. 3 o'clock in the morning, I got up.
So at 3 o'clock in the morning she got up.
I got up because I had to use the bathroom, but I didn't make it to the bathroom.
Okay, so she wanted to use the bathroom but didn't get there.
I seen the kitchen light on, and I walked in the kitchen, and the back door is wide open. I didn't notice about Haleigh then until I seen...
Okay, so the back door was wide open with the light on.
I walked in the kitchen, and the back door is wide open. I didn't notice about Haleigh then until I seen the back door open, and then I go in, and she's gone. And that's all.
Okay, so she goes back to her room, and then she's gone.
And that's all I know.
And that's all she knows. And that's the story. Okay, so don't forget about how a story in statement analysis is broken down. A generally truthful story will go 25, 50, 25, meaning the start of the before the main incident, 25% of the story is devoted to what happened before. 50% is devoted to what happened in the middle, actually the incident, and 25% is devoted to what happened after the incident, how you felt, who else arrived, did the police come, things like that. But in this sense here, we get a very long start.
I walked in the kitchen, and the back door is wide open. I didn't notice about Haleigh then.
We get a small middle.
Open, and then I go in, and she's gone.
And she's gone.
And that's all I know.
And that's it. So she's gone, and that's it. So there's no story from what happened after that time period. So that's one story. So let's have a look at the next interview she's given here. Let's just make it big so we can see it. Okay, this is the same girl, but a few days after, or a few months after. So let's have a look what she's got to say.
The mattress next to you. This is an opportunity to clarify. You've had time to think through what happened that night. Can you walk us through it one more time, Misty? Your best recollection of what happened the night Haleigh disappeared.
Well, I put her to bed at 8 o'clock.
Okay, so she put her to bed at 8 o'clock. That's fine, because that's consistent with the other story she's given.
I was washing my our blankets.
Okay, so the blanket story, consistencies.
After that was done, I put her blanket over her. She was sleeping. When I put her blanket on her,
Was she in the bed?
she was in her bed.
Her bed.
In her bed, and Junior was in the bed with me. And it was about, I don't know what time, about 10 o'clock. I finally lay down and went to sleep. I woke up at 3, and I noticed, I got up to use the bathroom, and I noticed the kitchen light was on, so I walked to the kitchen, and that's when I seen the back door open. So I ran back to my bedroom to grab my phone to call Ronald, and that's when I noticed Haleigh was gone.
And so you called.
So let's pause it right there. Okay, so for me, there are massive problems staring me right in the face here with this. I don't know how anyone's not picked up on these before.
At 8
So,
o'clock.
okay, so 8 o'clock on the blanket thing is
was
probably
washing my
truthful
blanket
because,
up.
okay, we're seeing consistencies in the story.
Our blanket.
However, how she slips up is here.
And after that was done, I put her blanket over her. She was sleeping. When I put her blanket on her,
Was she in the bed?
she was in her bed.
Her bed.
In her bed, and Junior was in the bed with me.
Okay, so what she said there is she said that Junior was in the bed with her. Now, obviously, she's made no reference to why she's gone to bed. Bearing in mind at this point that she said she went to bed, she's not given us time what time she went to bed actually. So let's just make a note of that.
In her bed, and Junior was in the bed with me.
Okay, so Junior's in the bed with me. Okay, so we can assume that she's potentially going to go to sleep if she's in the bed because it's getting quite late. Okay.
And it was about, I don't know what time, about 10 o'clock. I finally lay down and went to sleep.
So at 10 o'clock, then she said she finally went down and went to sleep. However, just before, she's just said that.
I put her blanket on her.
Was she in the bed?
She was in her bed.
Her bed.
In her bed, and Junior was in the bed with me.
So Junior was in the bed with me. So at some stage, she's obviously got into bed, because that's where she is now with Junior.
And it was about, I don't know what time, about 10 o'clock. I finally lay down and went to sleep.
Okay, now she said she finally went down and went to sleep. However, went down is interesting because that's not a term you would say to when you're going to bed or go to sleep. So there's inconsistencies there because what she said is she was in bed with Junior, but now she said she went down to sleep. So again, that little bit there doesn't make any sense. There's a miscommunication going on there. But the next glaring error is this one.
Woke up at 3, and I noticed, I got up to use the bathroom, and I noticed the kitchen light was on, so I walked to the kitchen, and that's when I seen the back door open. So I ran back to my bedroom to grab my phone to call Ronald. And
That bit there. Now then, if you weren't watching this story and you had no idea about Haleigh or the disappearance, at that point there you would not know that there was a child missing because what she said there is that the only reason that she's ringing Ronald is because the back door is opened, not because Haleigh's missing. Just watch that again.
woke up at 3, and I noticed, I got up to use the bathroom, and I noticed the kitchen light was on, so I walked to the kitchen, and that's when I seen the back door open. So I ran back to my bedroom to grab my phone to call Ronald.
So there's no mention there of the reason why she's ringing Ronald is because Haleigh is missing. The only reason she's ringing her is because the back door's wide open.
And that's when I noticed Haleigh was gone.
And that's when I noticed that Haleigh was gone. So she didn't instinctively know that Haleigh was missing until she picked up the phone, which she had to go back to her bedroom to go get. But however, she hadn't thought of that at this stage of the interview. So there's a massive inconsistency there. Don't forget the reason why she's ringing Ronald is because the back door's wide open, not because his daughter's missing.
And so you called Ronald, and then Ronald, did you come home?
Okay, so let's just scoot back so we get a clear understanding one more time.
So I ran back to my bedroom to grab my phone to call Ronald. And that's when I noticed Haleigh was gone.
So she didn't know that Haleigh was missing when she got up. The only time she realised that Haleigh was missing when she went back into her room to get the phone to let Ronald know that the back door was wide open. So let's move on to the next interview here. So let's just make this a little bit bigger. So we've got some inconsistencies coming in.
From you, Misty.
Like 4 feet away.
Okay, so what she just asked there is how far away was Haleigh from you, and she just said 4 feet away.
Disappeared without you waking up.
I don't know. She wasn't there when I woke up. I was 7.
Okay, now she wasn't there when she woke up. However, that's not true. Because what she said is that she got up to went to go to the bathroom, didn't go to the bathroom, went into the kitchen, the light was on, the door was open. Then she came back to use the phone to ring Ron to let her know the back door was open. However, she's just said now that she knew straight away when she woke up, and that's not true.
She wasn't there when I woke up. I was 7. I was overexhausted that night. When I lay down, I just lay down and went to sleep.
You woke up at what, 3 o'clock in the morning, and you realized that she was gone?
Yeah.
How soon did you call?
Okay, so she said, yep, that's not true at all. She's contradicted herself in that statement there as well. So let's just move on to the next interview where she gives that she's in jail. Now then, she's in jail for an unrelated drugs charge. Both her and the gentleman in question here, Ron, are both doing serious jail sentences for drug trafficking. However, it's not related to the disappearance of Haleigh, I might add. So this is a story now she gives when she's in jail.
We put Haleigh on the bus. We did everything we were supposed to do. Ronald brought Haleigh home. I cooked dinner. I gave her baths. We played. Then we lay down and went to sleep. And then I woke up. I don't know why I woke up. I woke up and the kitchen light was on. And I ran to the bathroom. I ran to the kitchen to see what was going on. I thought maybe Ron was home. He wasn't there. So I ran to my room to get my cell phone to call him. He wouldn't answer his phone over 20 times. Turn around and she's not in her bed. So I'm running around the house freaking out because she's not in her bed. She's not nowhere in the house. And then 5 minutes later, Ron was pulling down the driveway. And he didn't really look like he was upset. He just looked like he was more messed up on drugs. And when I called him, like 23 times I called him, he didn't answer the phone. And then the police come.
Okay, right, so again we can see...
I don't know why I woke up and...
So she woke up?
The light was on, and I ran to the bathroom. I ran to the kitchen to see what was going on. I thought maybe Ron was home. He wasn't there. So I ran to my room to get my cell phone to call him. He wouldn't answer his phone over 20 times. Turn around and she's not in her bed.
Okay, so what she said there is she's rang his phone over 20 times. So
I'm running around the house freaking out because she's not in her bed, she's not nowhere in the house. And then 5 minutes later, Ron was pulling down the driveway.
Okay, so ringing someone for 20 times would certainly take more than the 5 minutes that she says here. So we can see a timeline of events that there's a problem. Also, what we can see here...
He didn't really look like he was upset. He just looked like he was more messed up on drugs. And when I called him, like 23 times I called him, he didn't answer the phone. And then the police come.
Okay, so again, we're seeing inconsistencies in the story, even later on in the timeline of events, okay? So all those 4 interviews have massive inconsistencies, and the problem I have with all of this is the layout of the family home of where Haleigh went missing, because that is allegedly where she was sleeping, and that's allegedly where Misty was sleeping. So if she got up at 3 o'clock in the morning to go to the toilet, she would have had to have walked past Haleigh to go out the door to go to the bathroom, which she didn't go to because she went to the kitchen. So you'd think you would notice someone missing there. If someone was snatched, then they wouldn't take the time to organise the bed neatly. There would be things everywhere. So what you'd find is that the quilt or the pillow she was using would have just been chucked out. So you'd have to potentially walk on that to get out of the door. But we don't hear that neither. So again, with the inconsistencies in the story, especially this one.
So you called Ronald, and then Ronald was in the bed with me. And it was about, I don't know what time, about 10 o'clock. I finally lay down and went to sleep.
So something must have happened between that time, because there's massive inconsistencies. She's saying that she was in bed with Junior, but then she said she went down to sleep. So again, there's a time delay there where something potentially could have happened.
I woke up at 3, and I I got up to use the bathroom, and I noticed the kitchen light was on, so I walked to the kitchen, and that's when I seen the back door open. So I ran back to my bedroom to grab my phone to call Ronald.
So there's no mention there of that Haleigh's missing. The only reason that Marie's ringing, Misty is ringing, is because the back door's wide open. So again, we're seeing these consistent inconsistencies coming in from this interview here that she did here.
Because when I woke up, when I went to sleep, she was there, and then when I woke up, she was gone.
Okay, so all these inconsistencies in the story are coming out now, and I've only known about this case for literally 10 hours, and I've just been doing a little bit of analysis on all these interviews, and even I can pick up on these massive inconsistencies in the story. So this is an ongoing police investigation. Well, I think here there is certainly inconsistencies in what happened that night. So I'm sure the police are doing all they can to try and find Haleigh, and hopefully this will be a case that will be solved, in the not too distant future. But that's how people who lie often fall foul of their lies, because they can't remember what they've said. One reason why it's so difficult to try and catch liars out if they embed truthful statements into otherwise deceptive ones, meaning that they'll just alter very slight details which are quite easy to remember. The actual main part of a story will actually be truthful, and you can recall it at will. But if the lie itself is very small, you can also remember and recall that as well. So that might be what's happening here. But again, we don't know. The ground truth has not been established in this case. Misty and Ron were not suspects. They've not been arrested or charged in relation to the disappearance of Haleigh. So this is an ongoing police investigation, and I think I speak for the vast majority. Well, in fact, I speak for the world when we say we need to try and find Haleigh and get her home to her family, because that's what we need to do here. So I hope the ones who are responsible are brought to justice soon, and I do hope this video I've just done helps people as well, and helps it become fresh in their mind for people in America, and especially in Florida, who are still looking for Haleigh. So there you go. So, if you'd like to learn more about statement analysis such as this, or criminology, or body language, then please check out my Understanding Body Language page, Liars, Cheats and Happy Feet, or you can try and find me on Twitter at Body Language UK. Try and circulate this video about as much as you can. It might trigger someone's memory in the disappearance of Haleigh, and let's hope we can find her safe and well in 2012. So there you go. So thank you very much for listening and watching, and I look forward to speaking to you all soon, and I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas and New Year. So take care, and bye bye for now.